This is the extended version of Day 10, and thank you so much for joining my Patreon and supporting my channel. Let's start. Here's where we stopped at the original tutorial, and here's where we are going to continue. I took a copy of this just so to save some time, and I want to go probably on the shaded, and I want to isolate it. Let's isolate this and then work on it for this tutorial. Personally, I don't want this, all of these edges, like they are too many. So for now, I will reduce them, probably something like this, and maybe this is too much, so probably something like this. Right now, I want to create a thick and defined structure, so I'm going to select this and make something absolute, and I'm going to make sure that it's both sides, but I don't want it to be too much, so I'm going to create something like this. And after that, I'm uh, going to select this, and I'm going to scale it 1D from this point to this point, and I'm going to scale it inwards, something like this. And I'm going to do the same for here, so I'm going to scale it from here to here, and I'm going to overdo it and do something like this. So when we are doing the structure later, there will be some kind of movement on the structure itself, something similar to this. After that, I want to create this, which if I go to here and say 2 and delete, and simply delete all of these. Actually, I shouldn't delete, I should just select those and eliminate. And after that, I want to do the same for this one. I'm going to do something like this, and I'm going to select all of these and remove them. And right now I have some vertices in here that needs to be fixed, so I can simply just fix it like this, and probably in here also maybe, and I think I will do the same to here. And then I'm going to select all of these curves to this one, all of these, and I'm going to Gumbo relocate to this point and just flatten it. So I will have something like this, which should be good, hopefully. And right now, if I select this and this all the way to here and extract it and mirror it to something like this, I should have, if I join, I should have something like this, which is a little bit smoother and a little bit simpler than the original shape that we usually create. And this might be interesting, who knows. So right now this is good, and I want to move this as we have done to the original shape. I'm going to move this to Gumbo relocate to here. I'm going to move it like this, and then I'm going to move it vertically from here to here. So it's kind of interesting also. Right now I don't want this, at least at the moment. And then I'm going to do the same for this side. So I'm going to do this, and after that I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to eliminate those. And there are some fixing to do, but first of all, let's select all of these, I think till here, and then Gumbo relocate and select this point and fix all of them like that, and then probably stitch this. And actually, let's stitch those and stitch those. I think in this case this might be interesting. Maybe in this case you don't need this edge, so you can eliminate it, because this, I think these two, when they join with each other, they will create a quad, hopefully. And then I think we will need to get this also to move it from here vertically from here to here, and then probably gonna relocate it from here to here, so everything is kind of flowing as we want. And I think at this point you can just extract all of these glass elements, so you can do something like this, which is really good. And after that I want to start working on the structure itself, so I'm going to select, first of all I'm going to select this, and I'm going to mirror it to there, and again keep this, make sure you keep this, and I'm going to join and smooth. And after that I want to offset sub D, and in this case I want similar effect, and I'm going to select this and this, and I'm going to basically make this 2, and do not crease, at least at the moment. And then I think in this case I'm going to select all of these, and also all of these, and probably all of these, and all of these, and these. Make sure to select all of the loops, something like this. So right now I think I selected all of them on both sides, not yet. In this side and in this side. Something is open still, so this side. Okay. Maybe with these. I will eliminate those later, but for now I'm going to crease. After that I want to go to the top and then simply just select all of these faces, just like what we have done in the other in the previous version. And not those, I just want to eliminate those, and of course I'm going to eliminate those. So let's check what we are eliminating. Yes, this is exactly what I want to eliminate. Not interested in anything in this side, I'm just going to do this. And after that I want to create or to work on these, because I want to stitch them. So I'm going to select this side right here, and when I do this I might select this, so I don't want it, and then I'm going to select this, and I'm going to stitch and lower it like that, and then I'm going to select those without all of these smaller ones, and I'm going to stitch also to the top. So what I will have is something like this. Once I crease it, you will have something really start to get very interesting structurally. And I will do the same for the other side. So I'm going to get this, of course, without this one and without this one, and I'm going to select this and stitch. Make sure to stitch to the middle, so this, and crease it, and then select those, remove this one and remove this one, and select this one and stitch like that. So this side is perfect, this side is perfect. Let's I don't want these faces. I think we don't want these, so I'm going to remove them. So I will end up with something like this, and let's see once they are connected what they will look like. So I'm going to mirror this somewhere here, and I'm going to join those. I think there's something not very well in here, so I'm going to go to the top and make sure that all of these vertices in here are aligned. So I'm going to pick any points in here. I'm going to flatten everything just to make sure, and I'm going to do the same for all of these. Some of them are not very perfect, so I'm going to do something like this, and that's good. And for those, I'm going to select all of these vertices, not the top one, just all of the lower ones. And I'm going to Gumbo relocate and to here and flatten. And probably in this case, I'm going to remove this and remove this and just scale the other ones. So I'm going to make the structure a little bit thicker at the bottom, something like that, which is good. And then I'm going to try again and merge. So I'm going to mirror just to test, and then I'm going to join these, not creasely, mirror again, and I'm going to join smooth. They will not join because of because these area are not connected, so it feels weird for it. But for now, I'm not interested in those, so I'm just deleting them, and I'm just testing these. So join and smooth. So I will have something like this, which is exactly what I want. And then I'm going to join those and probably mirror these and join also. So I should have this structure is starting to get really defined, which is really good. And then I might want to do one more thing, which is selecting all of these and probably select maybe a little bit, push it upward, not so much, and then outward. Maybe not outward yet. Maybe I will go Gumper relocate because it's not in the middle, and then I will push it outward just a little bit. And probably in this case, I will push those points back, move them vertically back to here, and maybe push them a little bit more. So when you look at this in the rendered, you will see some kind of detailed or some kind of movement happening on the structure itself beyond this beyond the normal movement. Maybe this will later be this might be later turned into a strip of light or turned into a different material, but for now this is really good. And inside I want to probably do this kind of element in here. I want to test if I can do something interesting. Probably in this case I might just select the whole thing, so I'm going from like all the way like this, and I'm going back to the shaded because I don't want to mess things up. And in this case I'm going to make this, but 2 is too much, so I'm going to say 0.1, and 0.1 is good. Maybe not 0.1, maybe 0.2. 0.2 is crumbling, so 0.15. 0.15 is good because it's not crumbling on its own, which is exactly what I want. And then I'm going to extract, and in this case you can see that if these are doing something like this, maybe before you extract you can just simply select those two and stitch them together and then remove the crease, so you will end up with something starting from here. And then we can simply select all of these and extract. So in this case you will have a detail inside, and this could have something different as a material. Let's actually do a material for this. So for now I'm going to create a custom, and I'm going to make it inspired by the reference, so I might make it a little bit tannish or maybe brownish, something like this, representing the wood. And then I'm going to assign to object, so you will end up with something like this as a detail, which is kind of interesting, hopefully. And I think in this case maybe if you want you can push this a little bit further. So for example, if you want you can extrude this, but I'm going to extrude it in the negative, probably negative 0.2. So I will have something grooving inside. This might be interesting. And then I'm going to select all of these and extract them, and I'm going to match this to this, and then I'm going to join, but in this case I'm going to join them smoothly, not creasely, join smoothly. So right now I should have some kind of fillet inside, and then I will have something like this happening inside, which is kind of getting more interesting and interesting. And we can add probably I'm thinking we might add light to the other side, so I'm going to do something like that. And let's say that I'm going to create this and say 0.2 also, make sure nothing is crumbling on its own. Seems fine. And actually in this case I'm going to extrude negative 0.2, so I'm already in here, and then I'm going to select all of these and uh, do it like that. And then I'm going to go all the way to this, and I'm going to select those two, and I'm going to stitch them together, and of course I'm going to remove any crease in them. And let's see what we have done. Right now I should have these, which if I'm selecting correctly, I should end up with something like this. That means that I'm only selecting these, and I'm going to extract. And these ones I'm going to select and create an emission. So in this one I'm going to say assign this to the object, and let's see what we have. So if I'm doing things correctly, I should have a filleted edge in here, and this one is going to be light. And in this case, maybe we can make this light a little bit warmer, so I'm going to select something tannish, or any color that feels warmer, something like this. And right now this is great. And I think in this case we can just replicate what we have done. I don't want this tutorial to be more complex or more complicated, but you can add as much details as you want for something like this. And I think in this case you can increase or like go make those a little bit curvier, something like this. And in this case you can do the same in here. So I think in this case you might consider these to move up to make it bulky, and in this case you might consider also moving those, and this one moving up and probably a little bit back. And this one actually might be good to move it a little bit back, because everything when you try after you do all of this, when you try to mirror these, when you mirror these to this and then join all of these, you will end up with something like this, which is not bad. You can try to work on it or try to do something with it, but for this tutorial I think it's good. Maybe in this case, if you want, you can just select those and stitch them like this, and this one stitch them like this. And in this case I want to move this away a little bit to be 20 probably, and then I'm going to crease everything, and I'm going to remove those. I want them to be quads still, but they will be quads like this instead of having let me remove all of these creases. So right now if you move this back 20, subdivision wise it's more good to have a diamond pattern or a quad pattern or whatever. It will be really great this way. I think this one I'm not sure yet, but I think maybe let's try to add something in here. Probably, let me try. So I think in this case, because I still want a quad, maybe not this one. Okay, I think for now I'm going to keep this one as it is, and then I'm going to do what I want to do is basically just eliminating and start separating elements. So for now I'm going to the top, and I'm going to do all of these and remove them. I don't want them, and let me check. I think this side is the one that is defined, so I'm going to keep the side, but in this case I'm going to delete those because they are not the good side, and I'm going to mirror those back to here and delete. And in this case I'm going to delete those, and of course this requires me to go to the top and carefully select all of these faces and remove them. And right now I should have something like this, which is kind of a little bit more defined, and I think this will look very interesting when you start to add it to the interior. Maybe if you have like too many close curves like this, maybe you don't want this part, this one. So if you don't want this one, let me try to remove it if I can. Maybe not. Okay. Okay, for now I'll remove this one, and I don't want this one. So let's see if removing it is a good idea. Let's go to the shaded, and let's go to the sub D and remove the crease first and then remove it. So so far I think it's not affecting anything badly. Maybe it is because right here we have this. I'm not sure if it's 5 or 4. It looks 5, so I'm not going to risk that. I think for now everything I'm going to keep it as it is. And right now, uh, if you want, we can get those also, and I'm interested to add more materials, and because I want to create to reference those materials inside Grasshopper, and I'm going to tell you how. So right now I'm going to create another custom material and assign those to the object, and probably increase the transparency a little bit so they are kind of maybe grayish or something like this. But actually let's make them, yeah, for now let's make them dark gray or maybe gray, and the transparency will determine a lot of things. And probably in this case I feel like these are too much, they are moving up too much, or they are not. This needs to be determined. Maybe for now I will make something out of this, because maybe we should make like a strip of light just for the visual effect. So right now I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to make a bevel. Actually, not a bevel. I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to make inset, and it's going to be absolute and on both sides, so it's something very small like this. And right now I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to select those and add something like that. So actually it's too thin, so let's try to do it again. I'm going to do something, let's make it proportional, and let's make it to the middle, so it's something like this. And then I'm going to remove this, and in this case I'm going to select all of these and extract, and this one I'm going to give it an emission, another emission, and I'm going to assign objects. So right now if I look at this, I should have a light going on, and then I'm going to select all of these other things right here. I forgot to add the crease in here, so I'm going to add this, and then I'm going to also I forgot to remove these, so that's bad. Just make sure that your design is perfect before you move on. And then I'm going to do the same, and I'm going to remove this. Let me just go to the shaded, it will be better for you to see. And I'm going to stitch and just make sure everything is creased in this side. This is not good. I think in this case we might just, to avoid this issue, we can just extrude this somehow and then flatten it and then delete those, and then let's see. I'm going to do those, Gumber relocate, and then stitch, not stitch, but right now I'm going to eliminate these 2 points. Is it? Actually, let's stitch. It will be better to stitch those. Not exactly. Okay, so let's stitch before we move on. Let's stitch those. I think this way it will be understandable. And I will go to Gumber relocate and then do something like this. So this is good. Yes, and then we are hopefully moving forward. Let me just do one more thing, which is to probably add another material for this custom. And actually, let's add it as a, yeah, for now I'm going to add it as a custom and maybe add it grayish. I just want to see what I'm dealing with. So for now I'm going like this and probably increase the reflectivity, not so much. Maybe the glossiness. With a hint of reflectivity, 10%, too much, 5%, maybe. %. Anyway, for now I'm going to keep it like that. I think this color is not good at all. So for now I'm going to go light gray. So I will have a difference in color so I can see the light. Why is this not? Okay, this should be this one. Okay, now we are good. And then the last thing that we should do is basically, I'm just going to the top and make sure all of these are flat. That will matter because right now you can see if this is showing, that means that these are not flat. And this will make very big problems later. So for now, I'm going to Gumber relocate. Uh, Gumber relocate and then select this point and then 0. So all of these are flat, that will matter. And I will do the same for all these side points. This is good. And this is good. Perfect. Perfect. This one on the bottom will not matter. And I think the last thing is to actually extract all the creases, remember? So right now we have to select all of these and then select all of these. And just to see what we are dealing with, let's go to the shaded, select all of these, and all of these, and actually all of these. We forgot something important again, because this will look not very good in... Okay, one more thing. Let's stitch to the lower, and then let's select those without this one, and stitch. Okay, let's select without this one, and let's select without this one, and stitch to here, and then add this. Okay, I hate to do this, so I'm going to copy this and hope it fits. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to... Actually, it's not. So I think in this case we will just do the same that we have done with the other one, which is to delete this one, and then we are going to stitch those 2 points to here, and those 2 points to here, and then we are going to move those 2 points, Gumber relocate, and just like that, which is exactly what I want. And then we will remove all of these, extract, and then make sure to extract and then these, extract, and also these, extract, and then let's see what we are dealing with in here. I don't think this needs to have any extraction. These are already fluid, thankfully. And I think in this case, let's see if those needs any extraction. I think they are separate, so that's good. This, no, that's good, that's good. So far I think we are in that good, everything is good so far. And after that, the last step, which is basically just selecting all of this as a sub D, and then extract all the meshes and grab all the meshes to here, and then simply select all of these meshes and go back to here, and I'm going to copy this because I don't want to ruin the original shape, and I'm going, actually all I need is this part, so I'm going to copy this, and right now I'm going to add all of these, set multiple meshes in here, and then wait a few seconds and let's see what we have done. So I'm going to see this, and let's zoom to all of these, and let's go inside to figure out what we have done. And the zooming is bad a little bit. Let's go to the rendered probably, and then I think if I do things correctly in this case, I'm going, did I select rendered? Yes, I want to get, there's something called extract material, a component I created, and this component is basically getting the geometry and um, getting the list item, because sometimes you have groups of geometry, and then this one is called object attribute. It gets all the information about the object from Rhino, which includes the material. So I want to extract the material that I assigned to this and then assigned it automatically in here. So it will show up in here. That's important for me. So I'm going to do this, and then right now I'm going to say graft because I want multiple materials. And right now we need to figure this out because these are 14 tree branches and these are 14 tree branches, which is good. And right now I'm going to custom preview, and I'm going to custom preview those with those. And right now we have done what we want to do, which is exactly reviewing everything as we want, with the lights and the internal details and all of that, which is extremely good. I think in this case we want to just figure out I think this looks interesting. Kind of, it looks wild a little bit, but interesting. I think in this case we might just change this glass because it's too transparent. So you can just do something like this and it will show up in here directly. So that is brilliant because you will change the material and the material will change automatically in Grasshopper. After that, I think the rest is just history because you will just bake those, and okay, I guess, and then review off. And right now you will have all of your things that you want. You can just select, like for example, you can just select those and move them up 500 and do what we have done previously, which is go to the front and we will go back to here and then select all of the lower ones and then ignore all of the really lower ones, which are these. And I think right now if we creased, then we will have something like this, which is exactly what I'm looking for. And I think in this case I'm going to move it 500, and I think maybe we can just select these elements, maybe more from the inside. Okay, for now I'm going to hide these, or maybe move them just upwards. So I'm going to say 500 because I don't want those. And then I'm going to select all the light elements. I'm going to select objects, but in this case I don't want to select anything in here, so I'm going to move those 500. Let's hide those for a second so nothing get confused. And after that I'm going to select those two, and I'm going to move them also 500. And I think, if I understand correctly, everything else is not related to those. So if I selected all of these, then all one material only will get selected. And then I'm going to say join, but in this case I'm going to crease. And did I successfully do it? Not exactly. Let's join and crease. What do I need to join? 1 second. I think in this case I'm going to join all of like these. If I said join and crease, so I will end up with something like this, and then join and crease, I will end up with something like this. And I think in this case those are going to be joined and creased, so I'll end up with something like this. Yes, I think in this case everything looks, I'm not sure why these are bothered. Maybe in this case I will just go to the front and then select everything in the bottom. Just, I hope I'm not selecting, yeah, I need to eliminate all these top ones because these are the triangles. So this is annoying a little bit, not so much. Okay, and these, you see what I'm eliminating, right? Those triangle ones, like those ones on the top, I'm not interested in them. And from here also, all these top ones, all these top ones, we are getting there. I think in this case these are a little bit tricky. I hope I selected them all, and then I'm going to crease all of these ones, and then let's see. So if I understand correctly, everything is still fluid, but the bottom part is creased, so that should be what matters. Okay, so far everything is perfect, and then I'm going to bring those back, the 500. And if you want, you can do more things with the glass, but I think for now it's already too complex. So for now I might keep it as it is, or I might just select, let's say, a material that has some kind of mesh or something on the glass. But for now this is good, and this is this is the extended part. So please let me know if you find this very useful. and you have learned something very complex but yet very unique and very good to use in your own project to create some interesting exoskeletons, to control how the fluidity of them will move, how much openings and how much skylights and everything. And after that, thank you so much for joining my Patreon, and thank you so much for joining my Patreon, and thank you so much for supporting my channel, and see you in another video.